G'day all, this is your friend SVR73, the Reelmaster. This is my backyard, and there of course is my well-known video shed, the retro room. Let's go in there and have a look. I'm going to show you some new additions to my collection as far as gaming goes. And there's actually 3 titles, but I've only got 2 out here in the shed at the moment. Here's Monster Truck Arenas and also a platinum version of Burnout 2 Point of Impact. I've got Burnout 3 in the house at the moment. So picked up those today for about $5 a throw. I've heard about the Burnout. I've had a look at some YouTube videos of the games. Every game I look to buying, I actually do a lot of research on the internet before I buy it. And as you may see here with my some more shelf changes here, the retro gaming and modern gaming shelf here is actually growing rather quickly. The titles are really stacking up here. Sorry. So got PS2 all the way up here. It's my Jaws stuff. It's movies. My Midway Arcade Treasures collection there. There's some Atari 2600 games there for those who love Atari. I don't mind Atari 2600. I'm actually more interested in the 7800 after looking at Metal Jesus Rock's review of the system. So there's 45 games of that on there. And here's my personal favourite, And Television Lives. There's a Space Invaders anniversary one there. Some Mortal Kombat. That one's still shrink wrapped actually, and I got that for like $4. The Grand Theft Auto series up to San Andreas. I haven't got any of the others yet. I'm a big driving games nut, so I have been ever since the Commodore 64 days. So there's V8 Supercars 3. Now, all the games I absolutely love, I always buy 2 or more copies, and I actually have Stock Car Speedway here, which is the UK and Australian title, European title for Saturday Night Speedway, as it was known in America. Now this game, as well as this one here, World of Outlaw Sprint Cars from 2002, were made by Ratbag Games here in Adelaide in the early 2000s. They also made Dirt Track Racing 1 and 2, Power Slide and some other games for PC. And I reckon they're a great game development studio, but they're no longer with us. They sold the company to Midways, and after a few years Midways shut them down, which is not very nice. So Sprint Cars Road to Knoxville up here, some other ones there. Now here's some, you've got PS1 games here, the original Need for Speed, timeless classic there, High Stakes, which has got my AU XR8 in it, that I do actually own. I do actually have one of those. Destruction Derby 2, Colin McRae Rally 2, got some Formula 1s. Now this one here, which is I believe the first one for the PS1, it's quite a good game for its time, and it's got the Adelaide Grand Prix track, which is fantastic. Tekken 2, Time Crisis, got some pinball there, and many more. Some Road Rash Platinum. Sorry about the glare in here. The original Gran Turismo, which I do have my original memory card from 1998 still with me that I use. A couple of copies of NASCAR 2000. I'm actually going to be getting another copy of Stock Car Speedway in the mail probably within the next few days, which I bought for like $4. I'm a massive Dirt Track Speedway fan. I've been following the sport since the 1970s. I do go to various events like for late models and super sedans and sprint cars. So I've been waiting decades for a great game for Speedway, and there's a few out there. There's International Speedway for Commodore 64, which is a good one. But apart from that and Racing Destruction Set, there really hasn't been a lot. So it's good to see that Stock Car Speedway is that bloody good. It's really good. I really enjoy it. Now the Mega Drive is what my friend gave me, and there's a few games here that he gave me. The Roadrunner one's quite good. I have to admit, I never had the Mega Drive back in the 90s. I always had the Super Nintendo, and I still had my Commodore 64, and I also had got a PS1 in 1995. So I missed out on the Mega Drive. So now I'm enjoying it in my later years. So I've got some good stuff here, some Ren and Stimpy and a Christmas one, A whole stack of sports games. I'm not a massive sports game guy because I'm not very bloody good at them anymore. I used to be. But, you know, I'll play them occasionally for a bit of fun, you know. I do that. And then Lotus 2, which is, I think this is the sequel to Lotus Challenge, which is on, I do actually have that game on Commodore 64 over in the other game station over there. So anyway, that's the shelf. And I've got to get some more Master System games. I've got to admit I don't have too many. Now here is one that you retro nuts may remember. This is Burger Time for the Intellivision. This is the original box that I got for Christmas in 1983, would you believe it? And here is my original Model 1 Intellivision one I got in 83. Don't forget you American guys like Metal Jesus Rocks and Gamester and all the other guys in America. We didn't really get, not sure when we first got the Intellivision, but I know I didn't see any of them until at least 82, 83. So I got one by surprise for Christmas, and here it is, and it's actually just had its first service. And it's hooked up to this little TV, and what have we got playing? We got Burger Time running. And so there's the original cartridge. I don't have the sleeves for it, the little inserts that go into the keypads here. Joypads, but I did have Shark, and I had Major League Baseball, I think it was, and a few other games. Now, of course, now I've got the Intellivision lives, thanks to the Blue Sky Rangers who did that. And so let's just have a quick crank on Burger Time here while we've got a moment. Now you can select your speed on this game, so you push the disc down for the fastest speed mode, or 1, 2 and 3, 3 being the slowest. Then you choose what players you want, you push 1, enter, and off we go. Listen to that glorious 8-bit sound. I'll just turn it up for you. If I die too bad. Let's have a quick slash on this for you. There we go. I've played this for decades, but I haven't played this until recently, the last week or so. I haven't played this game for maybe 10-15 years because my machine, the RF outlet was buggered, so I got that done and fixed up the controls. One of the controllers was damaged. One of the buttons doesn't work. So there you go, there's Burger Time. Now I do believe that the ColecoVision version is actually superior to this one. But I really enjoy this game. It's a timeless classic, I gotta admit. Now I can't push pepper, so can't use my peppers while I'm recording. Anyway, I'll leave that at that, and we'll move on. So, for those who haven't seen my shed too many times, basically we've got a game station here with the Super Nintendo, which I bought for about 80 bucks with a Super Mario Kart game. The Super Mario Kart game, and it's in superb condition besides this little mark here which I've got to get out. There's a lot of Super Nintendos that I see for sale because I am looking for a second one, but it's got to be a boxed one. They have all this yellow shit all around here. It's all stained. Fortunately this one is actually really good. I may have to replace the little pin connector in there one day, but hopefully not for a long time yet. Now there's my Sega Master System and the Mega Drive 2, which I got for free from my friend Scotty. Now, of course, being a movie nut, I have many recorders and players, and most of the stuff goes onto this screen. So I have a Laserdisc player here, and I know John, I think it's Gamester81, you do love your Laserdisc, which is great. So do I. So there's one Laserdisc player right there. And the other game stations are over here, and we've got the some Commodore 64 disk drives, 1541s, some 1541 2s, and the C128Ds from West Germany and Hong Kong with the inbuilt 1571, and my working 64 with a one button missing, sadly. One key missing. So there's that, and that's hooked up to this screen over here as well. And I have my superb Super Beta Hi-Fi machine here, which the actual tray comes out. So that's actually the Commodore's actually hooked up to the back of that. And I've got a second PS2 here. It's an older model. It's a 75,000. If you look on the back, it should say SC H something or whatever it is, and then it has the number. So this is an 05 model. This one here is a 90,000, so it's a later model. And I've got my original one here. I'm going to get fixed one day. And here's the PS1 that amazingly, after I'd say, let's see, 10, what would it be now? Probably 10, 7, 17 years, almost 17 years. It actually works the right way up. As many of you know, the PS1s, as they got worn and old from a lot of use, sometimes you'd have to actually turn the machine upside down to actually have the disc work. But this one, stick it in, not a problem. It's like a brand new one. And I didn't pay a cent for it, so I've got to thank Scotty again for giving me that. So that's they're my game stations. And again, there's more of my movies around the place here. And you can tell, guys, that this shed was built in the 70s. It was built in 1977, so it's got the original orange and brown carpet tiling, which I really hate. But, you know, it's got a certain look and feel, and I don't think it's worthwhile ripping everything out of here just to replace the whole floor and rip all the wallpaper out just to make it look nicer. So I'm going to keep it with the 70s and 80s feel. Now, what I've also done for you video collector guys that are still watching my channel, like Simon at Explosive Action, just the other day I happened to decide to move my CBS FOX videos from this other shelving here and move them across to this section, and I've put them all together by either size of the case or all the way through to being coloured. So all the white ones are here, and all the black ones, most of the black ones are all here together. And then we go through down to here, of course, and all the various different ones like the Cine editions and all the rest of it. Now, I'll tell you what, you need two hands to get those back in sometimes. So, CBS Foxes are all through there now. The Warner Brothers have been moved, are still there up there, but there's some Warner Brothers going all the way down to there. So that's what's been going on here. And but yeah, I reckon by the end of the year, maybe earlier, this entire shelf will have nothing but games on it. And what I'm going to do is rip out all of these, all of this stuff down here that's underneath the desk there, the counter there, the bench. Sometimes I struggle to get the right words out, and sometimes I really struggle. That's all going to go. I'm going to get some shelves made up in there so I can display movies and games all the way across this whole area, because I need the space. But yeah, this Saturday night I'm having a retro gaming night with about half a dozen people. Some good friends like Rick and Brad and a number of others. So I'm going to do some photo and videos of us playing Commodore 64 games and some Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3 on the Super Nintendo, a bit of PlayStation 1 and 2. So I'm going to do a stack of video, and I'll definitely put a link up there on my Facebook and my up on my YouTube channel, a little alert that they're up, and you can check those out at your leisure. And for anybody else who's watching my videos for the first time and has subscribed recently, like Stig's Games Room and many others, please do check out who I consider to be the premier retro gaming people on YouTube, and that's Metal Jesus Rocks in Seattle, and Gamester81, that's John, and there's also a few other guys out there like Retro Hunters. I haven't met all of them yet, but I've got to say that those few I've mentioned, those guys really know their retro games. One of them even worked in the industry back in the earlier days, and to tell you what, they know a lot about games and a lot about games consoles from year dot all the way through. So take a look at their channels. I'll put a link on to their channels on my description box underneath this video. So take a look, and As usual, I'll see you guys again very soon, and thank you for watching. Take care. This is the Reelmaster SVR73 saying goodbye, and take care.